Next week, we'll be discussing The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Tom, how was your watch?
It was good. This is the first time I've seen this movie in maybe more than a decade. It's been a long time. I don't think I've seen this movie when I was in my 30s. And I first read the book. It's my first B. Traven experience, who is a fascinating character. And the book is wonderful. It's much better than I anticipated. And I hope to read some more of his books again. And then rewatching the movie was excellent as well. Um, I forgot how good Walter Houston is in this. It's pretty great because I probably remember him more from impressions of people doing that character than him. And it's actually like a fairly subtle performance. Like he's doing a lot in a lot of these scenes. It's not just this like gimmicky thing at all.
Over the top prospector, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I
Slapping his
mean,
knee,
yeah,
cackling.
but I mean, there's like a lot of like little details he's putting in there. It's really, really fascinating. And if you compare it to like other Walter Houston performances, it's actually fairly different. Also, I mean, this is a guy who like famously paid Abraham Lincoln for D.W. Griffith. So I love this. I think that it's utterly fascinating. It's utterly absorbing. It's really, really, really exciting. I think this is one of my favorite movies, and I can't believe it's been so long since I revisited it. And I would recommend the book also. The book is excellent. Kevin, how was your first watch?
Yeah, like you, I read the book in preparation for this podcast, doing some real research here for Talking Pictures Trivia, and I enjoyed the book. I think maybe I don't have quite as active an imagination as the director of the movie, or maybe the actors. I don't know, because the actors brought far more nuance to the dialogue than I picked up in the book. Um, I thought the book was good. I wouldn't quite rave about it the same way that Tom did, but perhaps I just didn't read it deeply enough. But the film, I agree, is fantastic and is full of nuance and theme. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. What did you think, Pat?
So I saw this movie either 2017 or 2018. I can't remember which summer. I saw one of those summers, either 2018. I think it was, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But so I saw it then, and then I've probably seen it like a dozen times since then. And I read the book in, I think, 2020, like summer of 2020. But this book is, or the movie is, and I do like the book actually. I actually like some of the sub stories that are within it more than I actually like the book itself per se. But the movie is one of my, I think it's at least one of my top five and probably one of my top three favorite films of all time. Like I love this movie, and I think it's probably the only movie I can think of that's actually like legitimately informed major life decisions. Like I've actually made, sort of major decisions based on the film in my lifetime, which maybe we'll get into in the podcast. But I think it's just such a good movie, and I really like it. KJ, what about you?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this movie before Tom recommended it for the show, which sounds like it's a little embarrassing because, I mean, this movie was amazing. I couldn't look away. I actually didn't take notes because I just wanted to be into the movie instead of taking my notes like normal. So, Pat, I completely understand why you hold this movie so high. And Tom, like you were saying, I felt like I was watching Blazing Saddles. I was like, oh, this is where that comes from. Oh, this is where that comes from. There's a lot of things that the Treasure Sierra Madre sets up that I think are used all over the place. And it was a wonderful watch. How was your watch, Nick?
This was a first watch for me. I thoroughly enjoyed this film just like everyone else, so I will save the rest for next week. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre is available on HBO Max at the time of this recording.